Hey, what's up, everybody? I have a question for you. Why good men and good women can't find each other anymore? Biblical wisdom for love, dating, and marriage? This is Love Factual. Now, have you ever looked around and wondered what in the world is going on with dating today? Seriously, there are good men out there. There are good women out there also. Now, there are people who love God, work hard, stay out of trouble, and genuinely want a meaningful relationship. But yet somehow they can't seem to find each other. Now, I know somebody is already typing in the comment section saying, William, there are no good men left. And I get it. I understand why you feel that way. And somebody else is typing, there are no good women left. But I don't believe that that is true. I think there are plenty of good people. The real question is, if there are so many good men and good women, why are so many of them still single? So I was thinking about this recently because everywhere I look, I see people talking about loneliness. People are frustrated with dating apps. They're frustrated with situationships. They're frustrated with being ghosted. They're frustrated with investing time and emotions into relationships that go absolutely nowhere. This is real. So, if we're being honest, some people have simply given up. I understand it. They've decided that finding a healthy relationship isn't worth the effort anymore. But I think there are some reasons this is happening. And some of the reasons nobody's really talking about. So I want us to have an honest conversation. This is a two-way street. It's not a debate. It's not a battle between men and women. It's just an honest conversation. Because I think both men and women are struggling. If we be honest with ourselves, I also think that both men and women are hurting. So the first thing that I've noticed is this. We are more connected than ever before, but somehow we are more disconnected than ever. I want you to think about it. You can talk to somebody on the other side of the world in seconds. You can video chat. You can text. A few years back, we couldn't do none of those things. You can also send direct messages. And you can follow somebody's entire life on social media. Whatever it is they're doing, you can see it. But yet still, loneliness continues to grow. So how does that make sense? Watch this. I think that part of the problem is that we've confused communication with connection. Believe me when I tell you, those are not the same thing. Sending a text message isn't necessarily connection. Liking a picture isn't connection. Watching somebody's stories every day isn't connection. Real connection requires vulnerability. It requires time. And it requires effort. And here's the unfortunate thing. A lot of people know how to communicate online, but don't know how to connect in real life. That's part of the problem. And we need to go back to the Bible because it says, it is not good for man to be alone. God created us for relationships, not just interaction, relationship. And there is a huge difference between the two. The second thing that I've noticed is that something that might make some people uncomfortable. I think a lot of people are looking for perfection, not character, perfection. Now, before you get upset, I want you to hear me out. There's nothing wrong with having standards. You should have standards. You absolutely should. But somewhere along the way, some people started treating relationships like online shopping. Swipe left, swipe right, next, next, next. And that's what we've got going on. No real connection. Always believing that there's something better around the corner. And that's real. We do that every day. We're looking for something special. And for whatever reason, we just can't seem to find it. So because of that, people are overlooking good people while chasing perfect people. And like I said, unfortunately, perfect people don't exist. That's the problem. Listen, I've got flaws. You've got flaws. And everybody watching this video has flaws. So the question isn't whether someone is perfect. The question is whether they have character. Can they be trusted? Do they keep their word? Are they faithful? Do they treat people with respect? And do they love God? Because those qualities matter more than having the perfect profile picture. It is what it is. But somehow we've got to understand what the problems are in making this connection, communicating, and getting a meaningful relationship going. Because one thing I've learned in life is that character becomes more attractive the longer you know somebody. See, let's be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, we already know looks might get your attention. Absolutely. If she's gorgeous, she's attractive, she's pretty, she's whatever. Of course she's going to get attention. Gentlemen, it goes both ways. If a man is handsome, looks good, nicely built, yeah, of course, you're going to get attention. But I tell you what keeps that attention. That one thing is character. Character is what keeps your attention. So with that, I want to talk about something just a little deeper. I do think of what a lot of people want love. Absolutely. A lot of people are looking for love. but they're terrified of getting hurt again. Many of us have been hurt before. So maybe you've been there. I know I have. Maybe someone broke your trust. Maybe you gave your heart to somebody who didn't value it. Maybe you experienced a painful breakup. And maybe, like me, you went through a divorce. Quite a few maybes. Maybe you invested years into a relationship only to watch it fall apart. And one thing for sure, all these experiences leave scars. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's mental. And believe it or not, sometimes it's spiritual. And if you're not careful, those scars become walls. You put walls up to protect yourself. I've met people who desperately want a relationship, but won't let anybody get close enough to have one. They're protecting themselves. And honestly, I understand why. Because pain changes people. Disappointment changes people. Betrayal changes people. But here's what I've learned. Protecting your heart and closing your heart are not the same thing. Because one is wisdom and the other is fear. God wants us to protect our heart, but He doesn't want us to imprison them. He wants us to protect our hearts. Absolutely. It tells us, guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. Be careful, guard it, but don't put your heart in a prison. At some point, healing has to happen. You cannot sit back dejected, hurt, broken for the rest of your life. It won't help you. It won't help the other person, but it certainly won't help you to find a relationship. If we don't heal from our past, we'll carry yesterday's pain into tomorrow's relationships. Not a good situation. You can't do that. And that's what I'm saying, because it's not fair to us or the people that God may bring into our lives. We have got to learn to let it go, work on it, counseling, whatever it is that we need to do. So let me tell you what I believe is the biggest issue of all. I think we've gotten what relationships are actually for. I believe we know what they are for. Modern culture teaches us that relationships exist to make us happy. And happiness matters. Absolutely. It does. But happiness alone cannot sustain a relationship, because there will be days when you don't feel happy. There will be disappointments. There will be disagreements. There will be misunderstandings. There certainly will be challenges. But the Bible presents a different picture. Now, listen, a relationship is not simply about what I can get. It's also about what I can give. It's about commitment. It's about sacrifice. It's about growth. And it definitely is about serving another person, not just yourself. And honestly speaking, that's not the popular message today. You don't hear it. This message is just not popular anymore. Everybody's looking out for themselves. We're living in a culture that constantly asks, what am I getting out of this? Instead of asking, what am I bringing into this? There was a question that was floating around for some time, and I still hear it. What are you bringing to the table? Now you need to ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table? Look, healthy relationships require that both people contribute, not just one. Contribution has to come from both parties. Healthy relationships require maturity. They also require patience, and they require a whole lot of grace. And maybe, perhaps, that's why so many people struggle because everybody wants the benefit of a healthy relationship. But fewer people are willing to do the work required to build one. Now, look, if you're single and watching, let me encourage you. Don't lose hope. Seriously, it's not over yet. Don't lose hope. The worst thing that you can do is become bitter. Trust me. I know. Don't become bitter because bitterness has a way of convincing us that our future will look exactly like our past. It's like it says it will not get any better. But that's simply not true. What you need to do is keep growing, keep healing, keep becoming the person that God created you to be. And don't spend all your time searching for the right person. No. What you need to do is spend some time becoming the right person. I hope you got that. Let me repeat that. Don't spend all your time searching for the right person, but spend some time becoming the right person. You are responsible for who you are. And one of the biggest things is you need to trust God's timing. Trust God's process. And remember this, being single is not a punishment, it's a season. And guess what? Seasons change. Remember that. Seasons change. It won't be winter for the rest of your life. There'll be springtime and there'll be summer. So let me leave you with this question. Do you think the biggest problem in modern dating is unrealistic expectations, fear of commitment, social media, past hurts maybe, or something else entirely? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Let's have a respectful conversation. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Share it with someone who needs encouragement. And remember, a good relationship isn't built by finding a perfect person. It's built when two imperfect people choose commitment, growth, grace, and God's way. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next video.